Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's feeling well and and coming out here peacefully enjoying the weather. All right, let's check this video out for today, shall we? All right, developing some good habits for today, y'all. Make sure you need to teach your people to um, help them to teach them how to um, how to speak in the correct way, respectively, by showing some good manners up to this point. All right. And because, if I had a kid on my own, I would to teach him or her, how to do things right at home. Okay. So that's what kids, everybody, needs to be redeveloping their skills. And because by the time when I was like when I was a kid, my parents taught me how to be like a man, walk on your own. Okay. Because I know one thing, I told myself that because I iron my pants every week before work. My parents would never tell me what to do, because that's what adults needs to have more responsibilities for their proper living. Um, yeah, because my supervisor told me about this, that teaching their child how to behave properly, because you know when they are at work, nobody can yell. Okay. Or they can get kicked out of the company. Okay. But so you gotta be careful not to not to yell at everybody. Okay. So you need to understand that is this. um so teach everybody how to do these things right. When they're at home, teach teach them how to wash these dishes, because because they need to work on it. And but yeah, um so don't be afraid to do that, even though they have to learn. Okay. But by the when I was a kid, my parents taught me how to wash the dishes, make sure there's no soap on the plate. So make sure you got to remove it quickly. Okay. So you will not have too much soap on the plate. Okay. So, okay. So, it's a great way to redeveloping your skills by giving you into a good habit. Okay. So, yeah, as for as for me, I taught myself, being a better person, who I am at this time, trying to redevelop everything what I need to, is managing my own time, managing my own space, and that's the type, that's a great responsibility for me to keep on, moving forward, yeah, huh. Uh, plus, so you need to teach them how to do better, when they're at when they're at event or something. Make sure they need to calm themselves down, because you're getting angry, with your parents. It's not That's not how you develop like that. That's not how you develop your skills. So so all I'm saying is this, okay? So everybody needs to have some self-control here, okay? Self-control, okay? Because so sometimes, everybody has been having a bad day. They're getting too much bad they're getting too many bad habits over here, okay? So we want them to be successful in real life. So don't underestimate yourself, y'all, okay? Because today, it's a nice state, to get outside, to get out here for me peacefully, because I don't even do loud noises over here, or not even at home, nor anywhere. You see, you know, they are taking their time to get they're taking their time to work on themselves, because parents should teach their kids to how to behave properly, okay? Because we have to understand that it's okay to get upset sometimes, but you wanna be redeveloping that after you making a fatal mistake, okay? So right now, you gotta work on that, my parents taught me how to iron, my parents taught me how to do the dishes correctly. So I started, by the time before I graduate high school, I started cleaning the rooms, started cleaning the bathrooms, because that's what adults should do first, My parents shouldn't be telling me the whole time, okay? Because I'm trying to redevelop myself so I can, do my job, okay? So get good hours of sleep that very night so I can wake up the next morning, go to work, okay? So yeah, develop, because because if you're feeling, stressed, go ahead and, do your word search puzzle so you can redevelop your mind, taking away the anxiety away from you, okay? So yes, or reorganize your clothes, because it's a lot of mess going on, okay? So you need to redevelop, okay? So your habits will be back in a great place. All right? So make sure you take the old ones out and throw it away, reorganize it, okay? Because sometimes, whatever I do at home, I just reorganize my clothes. I have to, reorganize my shoes and everything, so everything can be professional, professionally made, okay? So yeah, you gotta, we have to do better, okay? So yeah, so I came out here for the first time, redeveloping myself, because I wasn't too afraid for it, just because, I told myself, or even asked myself, and I said to myself, go out, come out here on this an enjoyable day, because I need it, okay? All right, guys, that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Comment down below. Share it on this video, and stay tuned for the next one. All right. One last thing before I go. Yeah. Let me say this. When they, even though when they get home from school, hold your, make sure you hold the child's hands so they will not get lost, okay? But as for me, well, since I'm already an adult, I carry my keys, with me after I get home from work, I never lost it, And that is why I was redeveloping myself to, um, you know, putting the key where it belongs, because if I put my key on the table, you know, it's easily right there, in front of the porch, okay? So that's why I just needed to redeveloping myself so I can get to a good habit this time. All right. So that's it for today. I hope you all have an extraordinary day. God bless you. Take care of yourself. Peace and love to all of you. Have a nice one, and I will see y'all in the next one. Stay tuned. Take care, y'all.